Hello. Um, it's quite late at night as I'm recording this, but I've been doing so much reading the past couple of days, and my writing has kind of exploded again. And I have a lot of thoughts, that I feel like sharing. So I'm gonna start off by reading, and then wherever it takes me. To begin, I've been making my way through Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. I probably got through like a third of it just today. It's really picking up. It's making me think a lot, obviously. So I've been thinking a lot about God, because in this book, the main character, Lauren, Olamina, she writes this, not religion, but sort of, I don't know, truth is what she calls it. These truths to live by or to guide. The most important, namely, is, I'm quoting from this book now. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. So I've been ruminating on that, and I was talking to my family about it. They're not super religious, but they go to church sometimes. My mom very much says that God is love. That is what she believes. And then there is a quote from Nietzsche, I think, saying God is dead and we have killed him. And so there are all of these things. And then I watched Fight Club for the first time last night. And in Fight Club, it was like, we're God's abandoned kids. That's not what the movie's about, but they mention that, we're the lost sons of God, or something. I don't know. I didn't write down the quote, but we'll talk more about my other thoughts that were sparked from that movie and also in combination with this book. First, though, God. God is change. God is love. God is dead. What if God is life, death, and everything in between? I hear God in the wind, the whispers of the leaves, the flowers and the bees, the fruits that are born of their beautiful exchange. What if God is connection, the warmth of a strong embrace, the swell of deep conversation, the tears that appear on account of another? I see God in between, the threads that connect us all. And what if God is generosity, the give, the gift, the offer of an ongoing relationship? God is relationality, the give and take, the in-between, the threads, the knots that we make and of which we are made. God is the grass under my feet, the apple on the tree, the bee and the seed. God is planted and sown, fostered and grown, loved and cherished, challenged and changed. To feel, to sense, to know, that is God. To know God is to exist. God is to kiss the just-born curl of a young fiddle fern, to find your path by the light of the moon, to search emotion in the eyes of your lover, to hear the laugh of an old friend. I was never religious growing up. I had my bouts, belief in God out of not desperation, but I mean, something like that, you know. I've prayed before. I've gone to church many times, but not regularly. I was never raised on cold hard Christianity, and I have a deep connection to nature, and so there's this like feel of God is earth, earth is God. But then that is earth-centric and is ignorant to the rest of the universe and metaphysics and all that's going on there, which I still don't know very much about. And I don't think God is a singular force. I think God is a collective, a people, a community, and maybe in that way God is love and God is change. God is inevitable. God is strength. I think God is collective. God is the collective. I think that's it. I think I figured it out. As for other things, I don't know if I want to go to my other journal or if I'm just gonna keep touching on what's in this one. Like I mentioned, I watched Fight Club for the first time last night. I kind of get it. I kind of get what the film bros are going on about. Some things that I wrote down. Okay, you guys, you might be like, why are you writing down quotes from Fight Club? That is really cringe. You know what? To be cringe is to be free. And also, I be thinking, God forbid a girl has thoughts. So these were the things that I wrote down. Losing all hope was freedom. The things that you own end up owning you. It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. Reminds me of, like, I finished the movie and I was looking back at this and I was writing about it. And I was thinking about this person that I follow, Ismatu Gwendolyn, on Instagram. I mean, she's on other platforms, but said about becoming homeless. Only when they became homeless did they finally know freedom. There's nothing more to fear, nothing to lose when you have nothing. When you become what you fear, when you hit that rock bottom, that's finally freedom, in a way. And that's something I've been thinking about. I have been very well off my entire life, and in a lot of ways that has shielded me and protected me from the world, and has also cushioned me. And so I think of, I mean, I've had my own experience with being away from the things that I owned, though not losing them entirely. When I went to wilderness therapy, like not having anything that you own, not being able to depend on your things, or not being able, this is another like theme in Fight Club, like not being able to prescribe your identity to your material items. But that was only for 3 months, you know, and then I got my things back to some degree, but that's not the point of this. On Among this, other thoughts are arising from Fight Club. Should I take self-defense classes? Learn to wield a knife more skillfully? Actually become gun proficient? With the way that things are going right now, and also, I'm not trying to be a doomsday prepper. I'm not trying to add to the fear-mongering that happens. Shit is inevitably getting worse. We're trying our very best to do what we can. But it's not like peace is not happening. I spent so much of my life as such like an adamant pacifist that I would shun any violence. Any thought of violence was like sinful. Like you don't hurt. You don't cause any sort of pain, nothing. And now in reading Parable of the Sower and thinking about the extremes of what this situation could be, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit prepared. A little bit more prepared, or at least expose ourselves to situations that could prepare us for possibilities. We don't have to spend our entire lives prepping, but it's like little things like learning how to fight, or learning how to grow your own food and homestead, learning how to take care of yourself without modern things, modern conveniences, shit like that. Like, I don't know, there's a lot that we can do to build up our resilience through knowledge. And that can't all, you can read a bunch of shit in a book. Believe me, I can read all day long shit in a book. But if I don't practice it, if I don't learn it with my hands and practice it over and over and over again, that shit's not sticking in my brain. Like, I can understand the concept of it, but my body will not. It just doesn't click. Okay. I think about Lauren in Parable of the Sower, the emergency preparedness, the target practice, the hoard of cash, and book of knowledge. I'm reminded of that post teaching de-arresting techniques and promoting practice sessions with friends to get used to the motions of being like hands-on, or in more physically violent, physically hostile situations. When you practice these skills, because let's say I read a book about self-defense. If I'm put in a situation where I have to use these skills, I will not be able to recall them. Just, like, I can think of them, but my body hasn't practiced them, so it will take a second. Like, there is time between my brain processing, recalling what I've read, what I have to do. But there is no time in a situation like that. There is no time for me to process what I've read and then figure out how to do that in my body. And so in practicing this, like with any skill, you get better at it over time, you hone it, dial it down, things like that. A quote from Deja Said's Penny for Your Thoughts on protesting in America. I really recommend their channel. Their voice has been very much guiding light for me in all of this, and a very thought-provoking voice that I very, very much appreciate. In that video that they posted, and I can link it down below as well, they quoted from an article, which I don't remember what the article was or who it was, I can put it here, maybe. If I remember, I'll put it here. From a freedom rider in the 1960s, that they practiced in amongst their friends beatings and violence in preparedness for protests, so that you would know what to do and know how to continue protesting in an act of being taken down physically. Like how to respond. Fight, flight, or freeze. You know, we can train ourselves. Physical practice is just as important as mental practice. And all of the senses, you know, it's like circular skill learning. Kind of like Twyla talks about in the creative process. Like thinking of like a clock of skills, and you go around to all of them. Little by little, you build them up over time, but take breaks between them so you don't burn them out, you know? Yeah, ending like with this concept from Fight Club. How well do you truly know yourself if you've never been in a fight? It's like, I don't know. I've never been in a fight. Not a physical one. Well, no. Not like that. So I don't know. Yeah, it's really made me think. If anyone who watches this, if anyone does watch this, and has seen this movie or read this book, let me know what your thoughts are. I'm gonna pause, see if I have anything else left in my other journal, and I'll be right back. Okay. I didn't find quite what I was looking for, or anything completely related, but I do want to share just some things that I've written recently. Like, I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with alliteration. I don't know, it's just been very, like, pleasing to my brain and, like, hooking on. I don't know. It just, like, clicks. And then I, like, speak it and it's, like, you know, like, it just rolls off my tongue very well. So I'm gonna read it. And leave you with this tonight, I think. Okay. I never thought I would miss the way the aspens whispered in the wind. Not quite the same as oak or maple, emulated by ginkgo, bamboo, birch. I miss their slithering sermons, late at night, haunting my dreams. The sickening swish, secrets in a language I was too scared to learn. I seek out the whispers of the willows, soft and sweet. They remind me I am still alive, and right here. I sit in their presence, sense, sonder. I am but one life among many, and yet I am still here. Seep and sink, their words envelop me. God is experience, God is our existence, God is the existence of the collective, God is nature, God is in every living thing, every dead thing, and the cycle in between. I want to close with a quote from James Baldwin, from his book, The Fire Next Time. To be sensual, I think, is to respect and rejoice in the force of life itself, and to be present in all that one does, from the effort of loving to the breaking of bread. That is it. That is what I have for you. Another longer video. If you are still here, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.